All I'm saying, let's circle that Friday, January 24th. Michigan at Purdue at Mackey. That place is going to be electric. And I think this Purdue team has been super overlooked. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think people are talking about how dominant they've been lately, how elite Braden Smith has been. Like, we go Big Ten contenders. Everybody wants to talk Michigan State. They want to talk Michigan. They want to talk Illinois. Purdue's still the king until someone knocks them off. And they've been playing great. They have the best point guard. They have the best coach, and they're the best venue in college basketball. Do not sleep on this Purdue group. I'm excited about this. It's just such a loaded Big Ten race. That's the thing that's so much fun. It's the traditional brands. They all play different ways. There's star power at the top of all these rosters. Like it is going to be a fun next 6 to 8 weeks in the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely. And
probably the
look,
best rate since 12-13. I think this is the best top since 12-13 with the amount of good teams, but the pro potential on these teams as well. Outside of Purdue, but everybody else, like just the pro potential on those teams. And Michigan State, actually. Never mind. You know what? X that last part. X that last
okay, we'll just erase that from the internet.
part.
Purdue did go
I'm
and
like,
beat.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Rutgers isn't up there. They got two pros. Like, nah, they're down. Nah, we good.
So I'll say this about Purdue, right? And I agree with a lot of what you just said. I think if we're picking who's going to win the Big Ten regular season championship in a league where there's 18 teams, you don't get a true round robin, taking the team that has the home court that is maybe top three in America, I would say right now it's Cameron, the Fog, and Mackey in terms of the best home courts in college basketball. I think Purdue is a good bet to be able to go out and win it. I'm worried about them in March. And I know what you're saying about them looking great the last couple of weeks, right? You hold they gave up 61 points, 50 points, and 68 points a day. You did it against Minnesota, against Northwestern at home, against Rutgers, and then against Nebraska. So, like, okay, it's not really the greatest competition in the world. And I do think that Purdue is the one team, and Kevin, I want both of your opinions on this. I think Purdue's the one team where they are very matchup dependent in the way that they can win. I just think if you have athletic guards that are going to be able to pressure Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer, and then are going to be able to put pressure on the rim where Trey Kaufman-Renn has a whopping 3 blocks on the season, I think that those teams
What?
can really take
Stop.
advantage of. Yeah, he's 3 blocks on the
Stop.
season. Like, I just think that those are the teams that can take advantage of what Purdue does. And if you look at who they've lost to, that's what Marquette does. That's what Penn State does. That's what Texas A&M does. That's what that's what Auburn does. So I really, really like this Purdue team. I think that they have as high a floor as anybody in college basketball. And I just don't know if they are the kind of team that's built to be able to do more than like beat the teams they're supposed to beat in March. I just don't see that. They're kind of trending towards like a 3-4 seed line here. And I just don't see them being able to get past the Sweet 16 round. I really like them. I just think that they're calling them a flawed roster is probably unfair. I just think that there's certain matchups that they're just not going to be able to deal with very well.
They're a little small. I mean, like we saw it in the Marquette and we saw it against Penn State, where you had guards who were able to really get after Braden. And it turned out that like TKR was like the second option of helping to create, and that just caused so many issues. But I think what Painter has done, he's seen it. Like if we see it, he's for sure seen it 10x, 15x. He's continued to change the formula in the lineups, and I think he's all in on CJ Cox now, which I think is a great move. I think he's the only other personnel piece who doesn't need a ball screen to kind of get his. And I think that's really, really special to have in college basketball. And to put that person beside Braden Smith, I think just opens up everything for that team. It gives Braden a little breather. It takes pressure off his shoulders. Braden doesn't need to shoot the ball 20 times. I like when he shoots it a lot. I love when he's aggressive. But the fact that he doesn't have to feel that he needs to do it, like today we saw with CJ, how he was able to go and get his whenever he was asked to. He just needs more of those reps. So when March comes, I think you're right. You're like as target right on the dot when it comes to Purdue and matchups. I'm afraid for a really bad 13 seed matchup for them. I'm not going to lie, or like a really bad 12, because positionally they don't really overwhelm. And that's one of the bigger things that high majors usually have, is that they have that positional size. Purdue doesn't really have that positional size or athleticism outside of Colvin and Heidi. So you need a really good matchup. But until then, keep developing CJ Cox to just take that pressure off of TKR, Lawyer, and Braden Smith.
Yep.